Hey everybody, it's Greg Ryder here with Steve and Wes. Welcome back, and I want to start off this video by saying thank you. We appreciate you. I am a big respecter of time, and I value your time, and I value my time, frankly. So the fact that you're still here and you're taking your valuable time to watch these videos is very important to us, and we want to make sure we provide lots of value for you. So I hope you're taking notes and you're writing this stuff down, because I know we're covering a lot of stuff for a lot of people. And the first thing we want to do is we want to recap a little bit about video one. And you were talking about what video one was all about. It was a kind of a good explanation.
So one of my favorite sayings, you're right, thank you, is why is more important than the how. If you've got a big why that'll drive you, you'll find how. So we really talked about why you would be crazy to not consider getting into e-commerce. So now we'd like shift to talk more about how. Once you've come to grips with the fact that why you need to do it, we're going to talk more on how we would recommend you do e-commerce.
And you know what we covered in video one, if you haven't seen video one, you're going to have to go watch it. It's on this page. It's on the side of this page somewhere. Just stop here, go watch video one, because what we covered is we went over how big e-commerce has grown, what's going on in the e-commerce business, how it's just skyrocketing worldwide. People are buying from their mobile phones. They're comfortable buying things online. We talked about drop shipping and how drop shipping has literally changed the landscape of e-commerce forever, and it makes the barrier of entry so low that anybody and everybody can get into it, and they are. 18-year-olds, 14-year-olds. Actually, you know what? Another case study I should get. We know some 18-year-olds that are making six figures, not six figures, it'd be 5 figures a month with their e-commerce business, going to high school, coming home, and doing their e-commerce business because they're learning the ropes and they're wicked smart at this stuff. They pick it up so fast. So that's what we covered. We talked about that. We talked about what was possible and how some guys out there in their first years have just made crushing 7-figure numbers in their first year. And there's just no other industry that I've ever been exposed to. And I'm a former investment banker. I've raised hundreds of millions of dollars. I've taken hundreds of companies public, and I've never seen anything like this that's so easy. And when I mean easy, it's like it's easy in that if you take the steps and you get the proper training and coaching, you can do it. There's no easy button, you just wave a magic wand and get rich quick. But literally, it's not that difficult, it's not that hard, and all of the barriers of entry have been taken out of the equation, especially as we share with you what's going on today with what platforms, and then going into the next video we talk about how you drive the traffic and the marketing. We're going to share with you some insights and some secrets that we've learned from 7-figure earners like this guy that are really going to help accelerate your growth and your path to success. Right? That's, you know, everything about starting a business is accelerating your growth and eliminating mistakes. That's why people have coaches. And we were talking about coaches and, you know, training and how important that is. Now, you said something earlier that I thought was really good. Do you remember what you said?
In the first video?
No, well, whenever it was. It could have been yesterday.
It could have been a month ago. What the hell is he talking about? No, so I know you already said it, but I want to stress the fact that we want you to watch this video, but not until you've watched the first video. So if you've already watched the first video, keep listening. But if you haven't, pause and go. I think there's a link over here to go back and watch video one. It's very important. It's on this side. We have people that make the web pages, so the click. So stop, go watch video one, then come back and watch video two, because we cover a lot of that stuff. Now back to what you were saying. What were you saying? What
I was saying is, in the last ending of last, we talked about we're going to help you pick a niche. You had your chance, you blew it. So we're going right on, we're going right on to picking a niche.
The riches are in the niches.
The riches are the 7 hottest e-commerce niches there is on the internet, proven billions of dollars in each niche. And this is what you want to consider as you consider your e-commerce business and your e-commerce niche, why you want to do this. So I'm going to throw this first one off to you because you're in this niche.
Yeah.
But the first one is?
So what's interesting, before I tell them what it is, let me come to kind of whet your appetite for it. So if you look at the baby boomers, the largest segment of population in the history of the great United States of America, they have driven industries, right? When they were babies and needed food, Gerber was born. And when they needed to go to school, education blew up. And when they needed their first houses, real estate blew up. The baby boomers are likened to a garden hose and a basketball. If you can get in front of that trend, that basketball, if you get behind it, you're always behind it. So right now, baby boomers have worked really hard, and they've accumulated some wealth, and they really care about something they can enjoy all the time, and their time is valuable. So what would you get the man that has everything is the question, because his time is valuable. If you give him gifts that it takes time to enjoy, what's the thing you can always enjoy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? How you look and how you feel. Your health, your wellness, your fitness, and your skincare, how you look. And that's why our niche number one is health, fitness, and skincare, because everybody cares how they look, how they feel all the time.
It's a very competitive niche, but if you can kind of carve your little niche within a niche or whatever that is, lots of money. I mean, one of the guys that's our chief technical officer, the last company he was working with, they were doing $3 million a month in skincare alone. Just staggering numbers. And these kids were all under the age of 30. So it's just amazing to me. So it's an amazing industry, amazing sector, hot niche, always will be, never will go away, number one. Number two, which is kind of surprising, is clothing and apparel. And clothing and apparel is you wouldn't think people are going to buy clothes online and buy apparel online, but they are. And you tell them who started that off.
Yeah,
right?
So I love it when people tell you what you can't do. They told the founder of Zappos, if I'm saying that, Zappos.com, look, you'll never sell shoes on the internet. Women want to go in the store, they want to touch them, they want to feel them. If they don't like them, they want to send them back. He said, I'll take those barriers of entry away. I'll ship it to them for free, let them try them, let them wear them. If they don't like them, they ship them back to me for free. And they said he'd never sell shoes online. He only sold $1 billion worth of shoes online and then sold the business to Amazon. Amazon now owns Zappos. So will people, men and women, buy clothing and shoes and apparel online? Absolutely.
No, and you think about that, and again, that was the first internet company. They were the first one to break $1 billion in sales in some period of time. And now it's an e-commerce company. They sell everything under the sun. It's just amazing. But it's proof that clothing and apparel is being bought online. It's one of the trending things being bought online. And within that, I want to make a point that grandmothers are a hot niche in the clothing and apparel, buying stuff for their granddaughters, their grandkids, their sons, their daughters. They got money. They're on their iPads. They're surfing the internet. They got all kinds of time. And they love to shop online. They don't like to go hit the malls and get in and out of cars. And you know, my mom is 83 years old, and she would just soon shop online than anywhere else. Faith is another big market. I love the faith-based market because, again, you got that emotion of their faith and and the uniqueness of clothing and apparel online. And then again, another one's pets. Pets are just huge. So within that clothing and apparel, and again, I have never bought my pet, my dog, apparel or clothing, but they sell this stuff all the time, hats and uniforms, and now they got these cool little designs where it looks like a cartoon character walking down the street. It's just hilarious. So clothing and apparel are this hot sector. And now let's talk about personalization.
Yeah, and that's a great segue from what we were just talking about. So in my father's time, I think about a generation, they wore clothing to not be naked. They wore clothing to be functional. He worked for a living, so it was to protect you, and it was functional. Now people are looking at clothing to make a statement, to tell you who they are. I mean, they're truly, people are making political statements. So grandmothers want you to know they're passionate about their grandkids and what their grandkids do. I'm a softball grandma, I'm a baseball grandma, I'm a soccer grandma, or they want to express their faith or their belief in the Second Amendment or some political statement, or how passionate they are about their pets. And it's one thing to wear a slogan that everybody else is wearing, that leads us to the next thing, or to then to communicate who you are at a personal level. So that is the personalization of these products.
Well, and again, and part of it's because of the advent of direct print on demand. Like you've heard that term, print on demand, and now we have 3D printers, and we have, you know, that print physical stuff, right? And we have these print on demand, so you can print one shirt at a time, you can print one coffee mug at a time, you can print towels, blankets, duvet. You can print on demand all this stuff, and it can be personalized with your name, with your favorite team, with your kids' pictures. So the whole print on demand is, again, that's really blown up the personalization. It's hot because where else, you can't go to Walmart and get a personalized, you know, with my name on a t-shirt or something.
It's a funny thing I just thought about. You remember if you went on vacation with your parents and you wanted like a little memento, a souvenir, and you wanted to get the keychain from the Grand Canyon that had the names on them, and you had to rifle through and try to find yours, and maybe it won't spell just right or whatever. Now you don't have to worry about it. You just get online, type in your name exactly the way you want it spelled. I don't care how goofy a name your mom or dad gave you. You can put in your name exactly how you want it spelled, or your nickname, or your pet's name.
We never had that problem because Greg and Steve.
Well, Steven, you know, you get freaked
you
out.
had to settle with Steve.
I was going to pick on some people in the room. We'll leave them alone.
Okay, so number 4. So and again, think about with your niche that you're going to start. How how do you combine personalization of clothing, personalization, health, and fitness? And so again, we're creative and we're out of the box thinkers, and our community's like that. Everyone in our community's doing out of the box things and being on the leading edge of creating new products, new strategies, new tactics that again accelerate our growth, accelerate our income. So number 4 on the list is handmade items. So there's an e-commerce website that called Etsy. You've probably heard of it. That they have proven that work-at-home moms, work-at-home grandmas, and people that are sitting there making things and creating things and generating sales and revenues. And some are only making $200 a month. Some are making $2,000 a month. Some are making $20,000 a month, right? But the point is you can be that creative artisan, and you can create your quilted stuff, and you can create your little party gifts and all these different things, and you can actually sell. It's a hot niche. It's proven. Billions of dollars have been done. Etsy has exploded. Now, this one's dear to your heart because you were telling me a funny story about your dog this morning.
How stupid
so
our pet is.
Number 5 is what, right?
Pet products, yeah. Because, I mean, people love their pets. I don't personally love our dog because he's an idiot, but I'm an exception. You know, there's bad pets like there's bad people. And there should be a prison system for pets, and mine would be the first one there. But people are passionate about their pets. They just absolutely are. And so anything that improves the life and the well-being of their pet or improves that relationship, people are going to buy. Just yesterday here in the office, people are running around going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over some cool new pet product they had found.
Yeah, no, that's right.
We had to stop everything.
That pet water bottle, that was cool, right?
We had to stop everything.
But it was funny because he was telling me a story about his dog and the power of his daughter and his wife. They're keeping the dog. He wants to get rid of it. But, you know, you have those dogs. But pet products are hot. They're always going to be hot. There's 200 million pets out there in the United States. Everywhere they love pets. It's great stuff. And number 6 is kind of dear to my heart. The number 6 niche is what we call fan-based products, right? And so fan-based products is obvious when you think about NFL teams, hockey teams, baseball teams, you know, that upper echelon that we fill stadiums with 50, 60, 70,000 people. Why? Because they're passionate about that. So fans, when you can do a fan-based product, that's pretty cool. And I want to kind of take that down a whole other notch because I want to talk about just different hobbies and things like that. So I'm a hang glider pilot, and one of these days I hope to show you one of my hang gliding videos because I literally have run off a mountain, thermal up, flown at 18,000 feet, and my landing zone was at 10,000 feet. So I've been, or no, it was 8,000 feet. So I was 10,000 feet above the ground in a hang glider, and that's what I've been doing for over 30 years. But I bring that up because that's a fan-based product. Hang glider pilots are passionate. Right, we're passionate, and if I want to get a cool hang gliding shirt or a nightlight for my kid that's a hang glider flying, or some canvas wall art, or something that's all brand, where do I go? There is nowhere, right? So I'm going to start a store for coming into Christmas season in 2018 around pilots and flying, because pilots are passionate, whether hang glider pilots or paraglider pilots, or they fly Cessnas or whatever. And that's a niche that's a fan-based product that I can tie into that emotion of their hobby, and they're going to want to buy from me. I can build a brand, I can build it up, and I can sell that business. So I just love that whole idea of fan-based products. And number 7 is something that's always changing, it's always there, and it's always profitable.
Now, we may have some younger people on watching this that don't remember the pet rock. Some of you remember the pet rock. There's always going to be new pet rocks. Pet rocks come and they go. Trends, fads. You remember the spinners? You know that kids, if they had one spinner, they had 20 spinners. There was no spinner in my house one day, and there were 20 spinners in my house like literally the next day. And you know when the market is saturated, when you don't have to go to a specialized website to get a spinner, you walk into 7-Eleven and get a pack of smokes, a lottery ticket, and a spinner. That's how I knew that market was saturated, when it was in every 7-Eleven.
No, literally on the first video we talked to you about one of the guys that's in my office, and he chases trends. And actually another friend of mine had a company called Chasing Trends, and all they did was chase trends, find what was trending, go market it and sell it, and go market it and sell it. And they're literally crushing it, making $3,000 to $5,000 profit per day. Unheard of. It just doesn't make sense, but they're doing it. I've seen it. I know it. And because we have our fulfillment center, we see the orders. We know what these people are doing. No one can baloney what kind of stuff they're doing, because we fulfill for these people. We sell, we deliver the t-shirts, we deliver that kind of stuff. And so when we're doing it for you, we're going to be able to supply you with the best products and the best services and the right niches. So again, to recap these 7 niches, you got health and fitness, clothing and apparel, personalization, handmade, pet products, fan-based products, and then trends and fads. And think about that. Now, you can start an e-commerce business outside of these 7, but we're just sharing with you as your decision-making process moves forward and you're trying to make the decisions, we want you to consider if you can fit within one of these, it's going to be a little easier because these are proven. And both of us come from the school of success leaves tracks. And what I mean by that is there's other people that have forged the way for us. They've made the mistakes. They've tripped and fallen. They've bloodied their nose. They've got beaten up. And I'm one of those guys, right?
Yeah,
and we want you guys to avoid those things as best we can. So with that being said, let's move into the rest of today's video. And today's video is going, okay, what platform should I use and why? And we want to be real objective. We want to share with you what platforms there are and why we think you should use them. And so we have a little screenshot here of a number of different platforms: Shopify, TRex, Amazon, Magenta, WooCommerce, Zencar. There literally are hundreds and hundreds of choices to choose from. But I can tell you, servicing over 1,000 e-commerce marketers, doing drop shipping for them, doing fulfillment for them using our software program, I can tell you that there's only 3 that all of the power sellers use. And when I say power sellers, I mean that's my term and my phrase for 7-figure earners. And again, 7 figures mean they're making $1 million or more a year. And let me clarify that, because I hate it when people do this. I don't mean making $1 million. I mean generating $1 million. So he's doing $150,000 a month or $100,000 a month. That's $1.2 million a year. He's a power seller. He's doing 7 figures a year, but he's not netting 7 figures a year. But he said he was doing 30, 35, 40%, or 25 to 35%. So I'm not one of those guys who like to flippantly throw out numbers, right? But here, again, let me reemphasize this. Every power seller I know uses one of these 3 platforms: Shopify, TRex, or Amazon. And you know what? Real honestly, a lot of them use all 3. There's reasons to use all 3. So here's what we're gonna roll through this. So we're gonna start with Shopify and the pros and cons of Shopify. Shopify is a Canadian company. They're a public company. I think I saw the other day they're worth $3.9 billion. I believe they have over 320,000 customers, 195,000 active customers. I don't know if those numbers are accurate. I heard them on the internet, but you know how that goes. You can believe anything you see on the internet.
That's right.
Maybe Al Gore sent that to him.
Al Gore sent it to him. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the pros. Shopify is a great platform because they have great features. And the reason they have great features is they have a developer of people that develop these apps, and they have all these little apps or add-ons that add on to Shopify, or that you include in Shopify, and it gives you all kinds of just every feature under the sun that you can think of. They have great support. They're a hosted solution, meaning you don't have to worry about hosting and any of that kind of stuff. They have lots of themes, so you have a great design. They're good for search engine optimization. They're good for importing things from China, which we don't do. I don't do a lot of that, and we're about USA and drop shipping from USA. But I recognize, hey, it's about turning dollars over and making a profit. So a lot of people do stuff from China, and they have some good apps for doing that and good things for doing that. And if you have a large collection of thousands of products, they have some really cool tools and tagging systems, so you can create these pages for thousands of products, and it's good for that. So let's talk about the cons. You want to go through the cons?
Yeah, so we talked about how many apps there are. The problem is everything's a la carte. You ordered a steak and now you got to order the potatoes separate and the peas separate and the tea, and everything is separate. So everything, you can get the functionality and the features you need, you just got to pay for them. So everything is an upsell. It's very hard to move to another platform. Once you kind of get in, you're in. It's hard to it's not easily to move. You can get premium themes that convert better, that look better, that look more professional. They just cost money once again. Setup takes a long time. I mean, it's powerful, but with power comes some responsibility. And there's no one-click upsells unless you pay for them. And what I'm going to say by that is one of the biggest things you can do to be able to monetize your list and recoup your investment on your advertising budget is to be able to do upsells and downsells. If you do that prior to the purchase, you can scare them off. So to be able to do what I call post-purchase one-click upsells is hard to do on Shopify. It's not set up to do it, and it's expensive to do it. And there's no long-form product pages. It's very cookie-cutter with the theme you get, and there's no marketing training included. You can get all the training you want to hiring the experts, but there's no marketing training included in Shopify.
And I want to make a couple points because we got some things in there that are cons. And some of you guys that don't know this language, don't know this terminology, you might not even recognize what he just said because you don't come from this world. I come from the internet marketing world. I started marketing on the internet in 1997. I've invested in companies, I've bought and sold companies, and I'm in this community of people that are really good at driving traffic and converting traffic and turning traffic into money. And there's a couple things that he mentioned. One-click upsells can increase your revenues by 25%. Long-form sales pages can increase sales and conversions 200 to 300, 400%, sometimes even 10 times. So these are the things that you have to get the training on, you have to have access to with your e-commerce store to have an advantage over your competition and crush it with your competition. And again, there's no marketing training included with Shopify. And again, go and talk about taking dozens and hours to set up. It takes dozens and maybe hundreds of hours to set up. So that's Shopify. And again, just emphasizing on that coaching and training. Here's a couple screenshots that I took from a Skype chat that we have. And these are people that are getting training from one of the 7-figure power sellers in our community. And it says they finished the day with $16,002 of income in one day. And now they're off to bed and they fly home in a few hours. And there was another one where it says they had $15,558 in sales in one day. So again, with the right coaching and the right training, this is what's possible. Do these kind of numbers in one day, and then you're always looking for that 25 to 35, 40% profit margins on your gross sales. So now let's jump into the other big behemoth out there. Everyone's heard of Amazon, but it's got a set of pros and cons. So let's roll through Amazon right here. So we got the pros. I'm going to talk about the pros and let you do the cons. So, okay, so the pros are, it's a very high traffic channel, right? Everyone knows Amazon. They got their own traffic. They got all that kind of stuff. It's a buyer's marketplace. They have hundreds of millions of credit cards on file. Most of the people have Prime. It's just, then there's the trust issue. Trust. People trust Amazon Prime. Prime members get free shipping. They offer what's called fulfillment by Amazon, where Amazon actually does fulfillment for these sellers. But you also have to understand that there are sellers all over the globe that sell on Amazon. This isn't all of their products. So if you're not real familiar with Amazon, you might think it's just all Amazon products. Amazon does have their own products, but there are sellers all over the world that use the Amazon platform to sell their stuff. So let's talk about the cons.
So yeah, there's always cons. So there are fees. Yes, they handle things for you. If you're doing fulfillment by them, they're going to charge you for that. But even if you just use them as a platform to sell on and do the fulfillment yourself, there's still a tremendous amount of fees. And because Amazon is so customer centric, anybody can refund. There's headlines about that recently. They are so pro customer that it can be anti-seller because they can just refund anytime they want to for little or no reason. You have limited control. Amazon has the control. They control the customer, they control the website. You really don't control a lot of what happens. You got to manage inventory, whether it's yours or theirs. You don't get the customer data. They're quick to tell you it's their customer. So you don't get to email, you don't get to credit card, you don't get to do one-click upsells, you don't get to do retargeting and remarketing. We'll talk about what that means later if you don't know. There's reports that they can just, once you get up and going, they can take your product, take your business. They don't need you anymore. They figure out what your source, what your supply is. You've done well. They say, thank you very much. I'll see you later. I mean, so it's possible they can chew you up and spit you out.
I want to tell one quick story because that's the reason I put this in here is that we were at an event and I met this lady that was doing $40,000-$50,000 a month with a skincare product that she did. And she had formulated this product and she was doing good and growing. And one day her site was gone, her product was gone, it wasn't there. Sorry, we're not listing you anymore. They literally just took her off. And she said, I found the exact product with the exact formulation under a different name brand under Amazon. Yeah. So they not only shut her down, they went and found the same formulation because it was on her packaging, and they did it, and they just, and I'm like, really? I was blown away that that even happened.
Yeah. And so Amazon has become successful because they built this giant marketplace where everybody knows they can come and trust the product and trust the price, that they're going to get a good price. So because it's all price driven, there's a race to the bottom. And so when you start out with good margins, don't expect to stay with good margins. And once you become successful, all eyes, not just of your buyers, but of your competitors, see you and they're coming for you. And eventually that competition in the beginning is a good thing, but in the end drives down to the least common denominator, and the low margin guys are going to run you out. The other thing is you got to be approved. You got to be approved in all sorts of categories. You can't just throw up a t-shirt. You got to get approved in clothing and apparel. Approved to sell a t-shirt. So you don't have that problem on some of these other channels. And they compete with you. I mean, I'm all the time amazed at the liberties they give themselves and their product is just like mine. Because, you ever heard of home court advantage? It's their home court. You don't have a court. And again, no marketing training included. You figure it out. You got to get into those inner circles with the other successful sellers and pay to play, or you're just going to get crushed and just be always wondering what happened. Look, there's three types of people in this world. The folks that make stuff happen, watch stuff happen and wonder what happened. You don't want to be one of those people that wonder what happened when this comes raining down upon you when you're trying to be successful on Amazon.
And with Amazon, there's no marketing training included. I mean, that's really key. So I'm one of these guys that believes in coaching, that believes in trainers. I mean, every great athlete, every great Olympian, every great person ever has always had a team of coaches, masterminds they're involved with, and they don't do that. So we're big on that kind of stuff. All right, so the next one we want to talk about is T-Rex. And T-Rex is our platform. It's a platform that we purchased and bought, and now we're running. We spent months in enhancing it, and we're going to talk to you about the pros and cons, just like we did the other two of T-Rex. And in the next video, we're going to show you some features that it has that no one else has, no one else can compete with. But let's start with T-Rex is a WordPress-based solution. And what's really cool about that, and the fact that WordPress is the solution that it's built on, is there literally are millions of developers around the globe that work on WordPress and develop on WordPress. So when you want to get something enhanced graphically, technologically, it's really easy to find people to do that for you. So that's a really cool feature of what's going on with T-Rex. And then number 3 is personalization. We have a built-in personalization engine, so you can program the platform to allow customers to come to your e-commerce store, type in their name, type in their age, take a survey, do an opt-in form, and we'll take that data and put it on an item personalized. No one else does that. We've been doing it for years. We've got it wired. We have the back-end print on demand and fulfillment set up. You never touch it. It goes out. It's amazing. And we're going to be demoing this in the next video. And I promise you, your jaw will drop and you will go wow, because everybody does. I've seen it happen thousands of times. Next we have is because of our internet marketing background, we have built a funnel builder into the software along with one-click upsells. And it's actually included in the software. There's no upsell for this. It's actually included in our platform, and you get that as part of our deal. And in Shopify, there is somebody that did come out with an app that does one-click upsells. They charge an additional $300 a month for that one-click upsell app. And it took me 20 minutes to build a funnel in their app, and took me less than a minute and a half to build it in T-Rex. So again, I'm trying to be objective, but because we're businessmen and we want you to succeed, we have done everything we can to help you increase your conversions, help you increase the things that are going to make you more money. Moving past one-click upsells, we have a whole bunch of other apps and add-ons that do all kinds of cool stuff, and I'm going to show you that here in a second. But what I want to point out is there's no apps, there's no add-on fees, there's no additional fees like he was talking about a la carte with Shopify. I actually added it up, and if you went to Shopify and you bought every app for Shopify that we have included with T-Rex, it would be approximately $600 a month of additional fees for those apps. Okay? So, and one of those things is my favorite ones, I highlight a couple, is a survey and opt-in builder. Everybody who's in internet marketing recognizes that the money is in the list, the money is in the customer base, the money is in serving those people. And email is still the cheapest form of communication and advertising and marketing to your customer base. So we help you, through surveys and opt-in forms, create a list that you can continue to market to. What's most importantly about it, what makes it unique and really stands us apart from everybody, is it integrates directly with a USA-based dropshipper, Printex Inc. And your orders come into the system, magically they get sent to Printex. Printex gets them, they start going, they start fulfilling on them, making them, print on demanding them, and doing whatever they need to do, and shipping it out, and they send you a bill. So you collect the money first. You never touch anything, you never see anything, you never do anything. Through automation, it sends it to Randy, and Randy does his fulfillment for you. And again, we're going to cover this in detail and show you a little bit more about how this works and exactly what that is in the next video. And number 8 is long form sales pages. Going back to what you were talking about, Amazon and Shopify, Some products need more space to sell the value of the product. And you're really limited. You're locked in a box on what you can do with these other platforms. With T-Rex, because it's WordPress based, you can create long form sales pages with multiple videos, with multiple pictures, with multiple descriptions, with multiple customer testimonies, with multiple reviews. And we have seen that helps increase sales by 200, 300, 400%. And again, in the next video in our training, I'm going to show you these pages. And I'm going to show you exactly why. We're going to point out some templates that we have and why they increase sales 200 to 300%. And last but not least, one of the biggest pros that we have is we believe you're sitting here and you're thinking, man, I do want a solution to my future. I do want happiness. I do want financial freedom. I do want something I can build and sell in the future. That does not come without training and coaching and mentoring. And we have made that a staple of what we do. Every Tuesday and every Thursday, we have a 10 a.m. Pacific time coaching and mentoring and training Ask the Expert webinar. They rave about it. Everyone talks about it. We have multiple testimonies of people saying how great our training is and what we do. And wow, I've never seen a company that goes so far and gives you that much support. But here's the thing. Because we have our software program, because we own Printex, again, I want to re-emphasize, if you're not successful with your e-commerce business, we're not successful. We have a vested interest in you being successful. So we're going the extra mile to train, coach, and mentor you. So with that, Stephen is actually leaving, and I should say leaving, but you take your Amazon business, and we met, and you saw T-Rex, and you like dropped the microphone and said, I'm in, I'm coming in, I'm all in with you guys, because he recognizes that he has to be able to control his destiny. He has to be able to control his future. And by having another platform that he can work on and start building on, he can do this. But again, I'm going to throw the cons over to you.
Right. So we were talking off camera how conveniently Greg took all the positive stuff, the pros, and gives me the cons. And yes, I'm here because I'm all in with T-Rex because of how I resonate with the team and having, look, if I had to do all over again, I'd start on T-Rex. But I didn't know about T-Rex and started on Amazon. It has been very, very good to me. But I still want to do all that I can for my family and my future, and T-Rex is where it's at. So a comment about marketing training. You heard me make some analogies earlier about, in the first video, about dentists and brain surgeons, and you expect them to have training. You don't expect the guy working on your body to not have had some formal training. Well, the same here. When does your marketing training end? When does your business training end? So if you have a lawyer, or you have an accountant, or you have a doctor, you expected them to have some formalized training, but you also expect them to never stop learning. Because my accountant who does my taxes, tax laws change every year. Laws change every year. Medical interventions and processes and procedures and prescription medication changes continuously. So whoever stops learning on this journey to being all that they can be. That being said, I'll go into the cons. And it's a little bit we stacked the deck. We wanted to see, obviously we're here to talk about T-Rex. The cons are cons, but I've got kind of an aside to every con. So the first one is, it's not really designed for thousands of products. But I got news for you. It'd be hard for you to get 1,000 products on Amazon or Shopify or whatever. So it was really designed to not be a mega store yet. But if you think about it, just build it and they will come is not going to happen anyway. You don't need to have 1,000 products on a store and hope somebody finds your store. They're not. What you want to do is derive targeted traffic to a specific offer and meet their needs with a specific offer, and then upsell, downsell, and then start to communicate and resonate and get a message to that audience, and then get them back to your store and maybe expand your store. So you don't have to start with 1,000 products. Second thing is, there's no developer community like there is at Shopify. But because it's WordPress based, you don't need a developer community. So back to the positive of WordPress, I'll say this about that. In this country, in the United States of America, English is our first language. And when you go to high school, unless you're taking college prep, a lot of times a foreign language or a second language is optional. That's not the case in other countries. Other countries, you will learn English as a second language because English is the language of money. I said that to say this. As much as English is the language of money, WordPress is the language of the internet. If you want to use the internet to make money, you need to know and use WordPress. It's just that simple. You can take my word for it.
It's that big.
It's that big. It is. The vast majority of the internet is built on WordPress. It's kind of like trying to use the internet and not use Google. It's unheard of. It currently does not integrate seamlessly with China, but neither does Amazon or Shopify. But we can teach you, again, through the marketing training, simple techniques. If you're sourcing from China or anything overseas, it's not all made in China. There are, believe it or not, some things that are better off being sourced from other countries other than China. But a vast majority of some of the things you're sourced will be in China. We will teach you through the training how to connect your TRex back office fairly seamlessly with China. And the last thing is, it takes time. Again, we started out saying this is no get rich quick. This is not just show up and get a check. You have to work. Nobody said life is going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And so it's going to take time to set up. That's why it's important to get to training so we can give you the niches, give you a head start. Because where do you start? Where do you begin? To give you a head start and know what to start with and get a little bit of success and build with that. So you don't need thousands of products and you don't need to spend days, months, years building a giant store. Start with a simple product, a simple funnel, and then build from there and compound over time.
No, it really does take things, and again, the training included. I listen to you, and I just want to bring point after point after point. You want a community, and you want people around you that can help you accelerate your growth and eliminate mistakes, and that's what our community does. And we're on the leading edge of that. And like I said, we have dozens and dozens. I don't know if we have 100 yet, but we have dozens and dozens of seven-figure earners, and we learn from them. We talk to them. I get wisdom from them that I can share with you and everyone else in our community that you can't get anywhere else. It's just amazing. And so,
at the risk of running on, and we can. Let me tell you the power of a community, even in what I do. So Amazon is a big beast, and my success of selling on Amazon and the time that would take me to get to a human being to know who to ask within Amazon to answer my question, I can go to that community that I already was a part of on Amazon and get my answer way faster than I can Amazon. So a lot of times the help I need to get about Amazon doesn't come from Amazon. It comes from that community that I became a part of, that they can answer my question instantly.
So we have that just like in TRex.
Yep.
So again, let's just kind of recap. And we wanted to throw up a chart on the screen here to kind of show you, with the good old graphical interface, the pros and cons and how we compare. We have the fulfillment account management with TRex. It ties right into the software. You can see when your orders are shipped, your tracking numbers. We have a custom sales notifier. We have built-in exit pop-up managers. You can put it on your domain without any type of masking, any of that kind of stuff. We have our funnel builder with our one-click upsells. You can preview and see your customized products. We have the personalization engine. You have your one-click upsells, your downsells. We have email integrations, so you can make sure you do your email integrations and notifications go out and cart abandonments go out and marketing goes out. We have all kinds of training videos and how-to guides on every section. And it's just the survey builder, the opt-in builder. It's just amazing. But again, I think one of the biggest benefits we offer is that weekly training. And then one last comment I want to say about that last con. If there was an opportunity for you to have a store that didn't take you hundreds of hours to build, because let's think about this. Now, I've been taught for you to have a successful e-commerce store, you should have at least 100 products. Okay. Give people some choice, and we teach you to market to one product at a time. That's a whole other strategy. We're going to talk about that in the next video. But let's talk about, if you have a store with a couple hundred products, how much time does it take you to take the pictures or get the pictures, get the description, get the prices, put them up online, put them in the store. It doesn't matter if it's TRex, it doesn't matter if it's Amazon, it doesn't matter if Shopify, it doesn't matter what platform it is, that can take hundreds of hours. Well, we're going to share with you on the next video how we can eliminate that. We can put you in a niche, we can give you hundreds of products, you won't have to spend any time setting them up, any time taking photos, any time doing any of that kind of stuff. And so in the next video, we want to make sure that you're there to see that.
So an interesting comment when we go in and talk about success stories is, in my story, you say it takes 100 products to make a winning store. Do you know how many products it took me to get to 6 figures a month and 7 figures a year on Amazon? You want to guess how many?
3. One.
One product did it.
One product.
One. Now, wow. Not everyone's a home run, but we followed a script. We knew what we were doing. So not everyone's going to be like that. But again, how many of them would it take for you to change your future for you and your family and create generational wealth? Wouldn't take many of those.
Yeah. Okay, so let's wrap up this video and just to recap, we talked about the platforms. Hopefully you enjoyed that content. It helps you in your decision-making process of what platform you feel is best for you. We talked about the 7 hottest niches. Hopefully we got your mind going and you're getting all thinking about how you can combine this niche or what you're passionate about. Because part of what's cool about e-commerce is we want you to be passionate about it. We want you to do something that's fun and you like. But in the next video, what we're going to dive into is we're going to share with you some of the top marketing strategies that these 7-figure earners, including him, have shared with me and us, and we're going to share those with you. And when you can incorporate these things, it really will increase your sales and conversions up to 500, 600, 700%. And it literally is the difference between making money and going broke. And again, reemphasize, this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. This is work, but we're committed to your success in e-commerce. That's what this is all about, is training you, giving you information, introducing you to who we are, what we're about, talking real candidly here, not scripted, and just throwing things off about the 5 steps to a 7-figure year e-commerce business. So we're going to cover Facebook marketing strategies. I'm going to share with you the #1 mistake that everybody who's losing money does, and I'm going to share with you that. We're going to talk to you about one of the top list building and engaging strategies you can do to engage your audience and build a list. And we're going to talk to you about an old school form that's going to increase your sales by 200 to 300%. And I'm going to show you live one-click upsells and how that's going to increase your sales by 25%. And then after that, we're going to roll that in and we're going to demonstrate to you and show you T-Rex. And when I show you T-Rex, we're going to show you and show off our personalization features. We're going to show off our one-click upsells. We're going to show all this stuff to you live so you can see exactly how easy it is that you literally could train your 12-year-old to create a funnel for you. And we're going to show you how you can have a storefront up and running with hundreds of products in these niches that we've talked about, and you don't have to spend hundreds of hours, dozens of hours, tens of hours setting it up. So if you want to really have a business, you want a group of people and a team of people, thousands of people, join a group in a community where you want to be successful in e-commerce and build a real business, we hope that you'll consider to continue watching these videos. We hope that you will share this video. And again, if you miss any of these videos, come back to this page. Bookmark this page right now. Come back to this page. They're all going to be here. And we want you to share this with your friends. Share this on social media. And most importantly, if you're confused on anything, if we didn't do a good job of communicating, what should they do?
Comment below.
Comment
because
below.
There's a place to do that right down chim.
Right down there.
Right down
So hee-haw showed up.
yeah.
So go ahead, leave your comments below. We want to make sure we answer all those questions, and we'll be on there. We'll be looking at those comments. My team, myself, him, we will actually answer your comments. We want you to know we're serious about helping you get into this space and being successful. So we'll see you on video 3. And again, I always have to say this, do what I do. Wake up every day with an attitude of gratitude. Tell somebody you love them, and you'll have a better day.